Is the 2024 halving priced in? Michael Saylor said he thinks the 2024 halving will be the most consequential halving in Bitcoin's history. I tend to agree. After the 2024 halving, Bitcoin will become the most scarce monetary asset in the history of humanity. As I've mentioned before, over the long run, mining is a ruthless competitive business where the price of Bitcoin and cost of production naturally converge over time. This makes miners the most consistent source of sell pressure in the Bitcoin market, as miners must sell to cover their operating expenses, their electricity bill. At the 2012 halving, roughly $14 million worth of annual sell pressure for miners was removed. And at this halving, roughly $11 billion worth of annual sell pressure for miners will be removed. That's 450 BTC times 365 days. And right now, supply and demand are close to equilibrium. There may be 22 billion worth of annual buying pressure, matching the current 22 billion worth of annual selling pressure for miners. Now, when that drops to 11 billion, but buying pressure remains the same at 22 billion, where will the coins be bought from? That's $11 billion worth of coins bought from existing holders, just assuming demand remains constant. And as price rises over the next 12 to 24 months, it takes time to build out new mining infrastructure, manufacture new ASICs, and plug them all in. This means natural sell pressure can actually remain low for a little bit of time, close to the 11 billion number, while demand remains the same or even ramps up as the price goes up and people learn they need to discover and buy Bitcoin. So, on top of these mining dynamics that occur, I think there are three additional key reasons why halvings can't be priced in. One, if you try to bid Bitcoin before the halvings, miners come online introducing additional daily sell pressure. Imagine Bitcoin is at $10 million per coin. Think about how much capital would be deployed into the mining industry. So much money would be deployed. Millions and millions of ASICs would be built, manufactured. Gigawatts worth of infrastructure would be built out. Power plants would probably have to be produced. And once all of this infrastructure comes online, that's a lot of sell pressure in dollar terms for the price of Bitcoin, which means there needs to be demand for that Bitcoin. And so if you try to bid the price of Bitcoin too high before halving, then that just introduces more mining sell pressure and brings the price back down. So I don't think halvings can be priced in that sense. Two is halvings purge the weakest miners who sell the most Bitcoin. After the 2024 halving occurs, the miners that get knocked off the network are going to be the miners with the highest energy expenses and the highest or least efficient Bitcoin ASICs. And those miners are the ones that are, have the tightest margins, and therefore they're selling the most Bitcoin just to cover their operating expenses. After the halving, you knock off those weakest miners, and only the strongest miners remain who have the largest margins and actually are the ones that sell the least amount of Bitcoin. Three is some people think Bitcoin is insecure long term, yet Bitcoin continues to survive each halving. I think the 2024 halving will be no different. If Bitcoin survives it, it proves the doubters wrong that Bitcoin is going to eventually become insecure as the block subsidy dwindles down to zero. And I think 2024 will be no different. We'll see another halving. We'll see probably a minor capitulation, and Bitcoin will continue operating just as normal to all of the millions of users all around the world transacting in Bitcoin. If you like this video, hit follow or subscribe, like, retweet, and share on whichever platform you're watching this on. It'll help more people learn about Bitcoin. Thanks, everyone, and see you next time.